I'm here with Shawn Tweed. He is running for the city school board as a write-in candidate. And Shawn, first off, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Well, I am a lifelong resident of both Greeneville and Greene County. Attended elementary school in the city. I attended Highland and then middle school at Greeneville Middle School. And then was lucky enough to see both sides of the systems here in town because I transferred to South Greene for my high school career. I am married to Dr. Stephanie Tweed. She is a professor at East Tennessee State University, and I have two wonderful children, Sophie 7 and Andrew 12.
And why did you decide to run for election?
Well, I tell you what, it was one of those things where I can honestly say it was not on the radar heading into the first part of the year. I had recently stepped away from a 17, 18-year career where I was a project and later on a program manager for major infrastructure projects all over the world, and had settled back into a more stationary life here in Greeneville. Spend time with my family, spend time with my kids, watching them grow, getting more involved in their school lives, and am now a realtor at Greeneville Real Estate and Auction. But as I got more involved in the school system, started volunteering more at my children's schools, getting more involved in their academics and in their extracurricular activities. Started seeing some areas where I felt like we could improve in the school system. And we have a great school system, but there's always areas where you can improve. And parents just kept coming to me. Educators kept coming to me and asking me to at least consider a run. And eventually we made the decision that it was the right thing to do. I've got skin in the game. I've got kids in the system, and so it's very important to me that they receive the best opportunity, the best education that can be made available. And this seemed like a good chance to get back involved and sort of serve the community. I've always had a servant's heart, and so I'm excited to move forward with this. And unlike four of the current members of the board, I do have kids in the system, and I think that's important. I think I have, as I said, skin in the game.
And what are your plans, if any, if you are elected?
Well, there's a couple of challenges that I think face the city school system. Now, we're lucky that compared to a lot of school systems across the country, there are some challenges we don't face. We don't have low test scores. We're pretty competitive in that area. We have very active community. We have very active parents in our school system. That's not something that other school systems have the luxury of having. But we have very dedicated parents and very dedicated educators. So that's something we're not going to have to necessarily battle. We can always improve, obviously, but it's not something we're going to have a challenge to necessarily have to face. But certainly, it's a changing job market. We're moving certainly much more toward a more technical landscape, but at the same time, we're facing having a lack of technical individuals out there to serve the marketplace. I think if you listen to any of the governor's candidates who are running right now, they all focus or are going to have a focus on developing a more vocational technical training. And I think we need to, as a school board and as an educational system, we certainly need to look at that and work with the Green Technology Center to make sure that we're providing all of that training that will allow people who may not want to go to college. College isn't for everyone, but still provide them the training they need to enter the workforce and have good paying jobs as we move forward as a society. The other thing, too, that seems to be a big issue facing school systems across the entire country is a drop in enrollment. And, of course, that goes everything from low birth rates to also an increased charter and private school availability and also homeschooling. And at the end of the day, I think we have to recognize as a school board and as a school system that we are a business. And so customer service is a big part of that. The quality of the product that we provide is part of that. And as such, we need to make sure that we're investing properly to draw parents in, to draw their kids in, to show them that we are providing a high-quality product that will better serve their children than some of these other options. And you do that by certainly investing in our educators, in our principals, making sure that we have a quality and diverse curriculum curricula, and also making sure that there's opportunities within the system and within the academics for extracurricular activities that will help broaden the horizons of the kids and the children. And I think if we can do that and we can focus on some of those areas, we might be able to see a sort of a turn in the tide on school enrollment as we move forward. And school enrollment is tied directly to funding. And if the enrollment continues to go down, we're obviously going to have funding issues. So we're going to have to address it somewhere along the line. And I think if we come up with innovative strategies, if we work closely with the community, if we listen to and invest in our educators, we can probably start to see that tide turn here in Greeneville City.
And is there anything else you'd like to say before we go?
You know, I just want to, I'm running a write-in campaign. And that's always a lot more difficult campaign to run because you certainly have to go in and take an additional step. My name will not be on the ballot. However, if you go in to the ballot and look at the at-large seat for Greeneville City School Board, my opponent will be right under that header, and under that name will be a section that says write-in. And you just click on that if you're doing it electronically at the voting booth, and under that will pop up a keyboard, and I'm just asking that everyone give me some consideration. I think I bring fresh ideas to the table. I've got 17 years of managing hundreds and thousands of people over the course of that career. I have a strong budgetary background. I've managed budgets, numerous budgets in excess of $125 million, and I know how to properly investigate a budget, find out where cuts can be, and make sure that those cuts are appropriate. So I just want to ask everybody for their vote. I think I do bring something to the table, and I would love to serve the educators and the children and the people of Greeneville City School System. And just remember that it's spelled SHAWN-TWEED, Shawn Tweed, and I appreciate your vote. And thank you for having me. I've enjoyed talking to you and appreciate the opportunity to speak to your audience.
That was Shawn Tweed. He is running as a write-in candidate for Greeneville City School Board.